you mentioned John Schneider putting this team together. It's been I guess a journey to this point, as opposed to the immediate turnaround that the Patriots have had. What do you think is the secret sauce of the Seattle Seahawks that makes them so good, built roster-wise, going into Super Bowl 60, Mike?
Well, the bright beacon, the bright light is what we're talking about. They made the right decision at quarterback, and the Minnesota Vikings didn't.
Right.
Okay, at least for last year. So the move to Darnold was a veteran GM getting the entire organization on board. Like, this is what we're going to do, and we've got to have an infrastructure behind him to support him. And he went out, and wide receivers were signed on the fly. I mean, Cooper Kupp was a cap casualty in LA. They get Rashid Shaheed right before the trade deadline, and JSN goes off. It opens the door for him to kind of go off with a new quarterback and become the focal point. But they draft a guard in the first round. He starts the entire season. On defense, it's been a 2 or 3 year retool. I mean, their defensive backfield, 4 of the 5 starters were drafted between 22 and 5. The D lineman, I mean, DeMarcus Lawrence was a free agent last year. They traded for Leonard Williams a couple years ago. Uchenna Nwosu a couple years ago was a free agent. The inside linebacker, a trade for Ernest Jones. So you see a general manager who's trading, he's picking up cap casualties, he's picking up unrestricted free agents, and he's doing it in a 2 to 3 year period, both with higher paid guys and those veterans on 1 year deals, coupled with a healthy supply of draft picks. And he's turned this roster over on the fly. They've never been a bad football team. They're turning it over. They get the right quarterback and bang, they go hit it. John Schneider is one of the best GMs that you're going to talk about over the last 25 years.
Yeah, no doubt. And what does it take though, and to swap out your quarterback and your top wide receiver and say, this is my plan, in year 2 for your coach? Does the general manager sit there and go, okay, this is what we're going to do, and then he goes and does it, or it just happens organically, and then you look back, go, damn, I just traded my quarterback and top wide receiver away. How does that work, Mike? How does that work?
No, I mean, even though John has got say on roster and all there, and every building's a little different, who has say and how much you elicit
right
cooperation throughout your building. But John's great at that. He's a facilitator. He and Mike, I'm sure, sat down and put this whole thing together. They weren't getting production out of the quarterback position at the level they wanted. Gino was okay, but it wasn't the level. So where do we go? We're not going to get in the draft. I mean, they got to go to ownership, I'm sure, and just say, this is what we're trying to do. We're going to pay this guy $30 million, and that's kind of the mid-level in the quarterback ranks, and there's still some upside left. I mean, they all had to be on board. It wasn't John just saying, hey, Mike, good luck. Have fun this year. That is the sign of a healthy organization.
And so the signing for New England, is it Milton Williams? Which one?
Yeah.
That's it? And
well,
give me your CSIing of the Patriots roster and decision making to get them to Super Bowl 60, Mike.
Loved it. Now, you and I, before the draft, had a lot of conversations, and one of them, I remember, we talked about all the money that New England had to spend and how would they spend it.
Right.
And it was a combination of some high-powered and expensive unrestricted free agents. You mentioned Milt Williams. He was certainly one of them. I can go through their roster, Rich. I mean, I can go right down the list. They paid Spillane. They paid Carlton Davis. Morgan Moses, kind of he's an older former first round tackle, but they turned over 4 of the 5 offensive linemen, 2 rookies and 2 free agents. And then they signed a whole bunch of kind of 1 year stopgap guys that could still pay. And that's not easy, but those guys are out there. And what I think Elliott Wolf did a great job is, Mac Hollins and Stephon Diggs were both signed in March. Like, they don't have a headliner at wideout, yet they got this second-year quarterback, in the MVP conversation. Garrett Bradbury, another former first-round cap casualty. You go on the defensive side, Tonga. I mean, Kaylavon Chason, another former first-round pick. So again, my point is they made the right decisions. They spent money intelligently on the high-level guys, and then they brought in a bunch of free agents on one-year deals that played at a high level because A, they still had something left in the tank, and B, they're playing for a new contract. And I take my tip of the cap to both of the GMs.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.